Welcome back to another episode of Limitless Nerd. I am your host, and I am very excited to have another guest with me today, Star Wars Closet. Thank you so much for being here. How's it going?
Man, it's going great. I'm super pumped to be here. Limitless. Can I call you
Yeah.
Limitless or Mr.
Yeah.
Limitless or whatever?
You can call me whatever you feel like.
Sick.
But yeah, man, I'm excited to have you on. We're going to talk about a lot of things in the world of Star Wars. But what I want to start with, and this is kind of how I start all of these, just to kind of give a baseline. Where did your Star Wars journey kind of begin? What got you into it? You know, where did your Star Wars journey start?
Yeah, so I was probably between 4 and 6. I don't know, somewhere in there. My dad was watching Return of the Jedi. And I came in while he was watching. He let me stay up late with him. And it was around the scene when Luke kind of does the crazy little maneuver where he acts like he's going to jump in the Sarlacc pit, then doesn't, then does a little, front flip, catches a lightsaber, takes everyone out. I was pretty much hooked after that. Watched it. So I watched it in probably the weirdest order ever, starting with, you know,
I was gonna say, what a place to start.
yeah, I started with the end, and then yeah, I started with 6, and then we went back and watched 4 and 5, and then I watched 6 again, and then I remember when Phantom Menace came out in '99. We went and saw it 3 times. I was like, I was obsessed from then on out. So that's kind of when it began. My dad showed it to me sometime in the middle of the night when I couldn't sleep, and it has been obviously something I very much care about ever
Yeah,
since. So.
yeah, yeah. I mean, that's actually pretty similar to me. I mean, I it wasn't a dad, it was an uncle, but I remember going over to his house. I was probably like 2 or 3, and he was like, "Hey, I'm going to show you this movie," and then we watched 4, 5, and 6, um, all in one go, and then he showed me Phantom Menace, and I was like, "Okay, cool, no more Star Wars after that." And I had seen the original trilogy already, and then he showed me Phantom Menace, and we're playing with his Kenner action figures and all that fun stuff. And
Yeah.
we got to the end of Phantom Menace, and I was like, okay, cool, no more Star Wars. And he was like, oh no, there's another one. And I was like, what? And this was like right after Attack of the Clones came out on DVD. He was like, you want to watch this? And I was like, yeah, it's more Star Wars, obviously.
Yeah.
Um, and, saw Attack of the Clones for the first time. And then, I was stuck on it from there. I mean, and I've talked about this with some other people, but you know, I feel like if you weren't gonna grow up in, you know, the late '70s, early '80s when the original trilogy was coming out,
Yeah.
I feel like we grew up in the best era of Star Wars.
Brother, without a doubt.
You
Without
know,
a doubt. That's, you know, to, I guess, a continuation of the answer to your first question. I could say that, like, that's what got me into it. What kept me into it was like having friends, or like even my cousins, my little brother. We would be in the backyard at like my grandmother's house, and we had these bad boys right here, the little plastic lightsabers,
I've got a box of those.
Oh man, dude, we would all day in the backyard
Yeah,
like pretend we were in Attack of the Clones. I mean,
yeah,
playing
man.
the video games. It was the best era. You could not have said it better. The best era.
Yeah. I mean, I and then the Revenge of the Sith comes out, and as far as we knew, that was kind of it. And then um, I was born in '98, so I was like the perfect age when Clone Wars started. So I was like obsessed with Clone Wars. Um, but yeah, I mean, I really do believe that unless you were there at the beginning. I think that prequel era, and like you talk, the video games. I mean, Lego Star Wars, Battlefront, and Battlefront 2. The Episode 3 movie game. You could just go on and on and on about the
Yeah.
video games of that era because I don't think there's been a better era for Star Wars video games than the early 2000s. But
Yeah. There hasn't been.
yeah,
That was the
yeah,
best. Easily. Easily.
yeah. You mentioned video games. What were you playing?
Brother, I was playing I was doing a lot of Bounty Hunter. A lot of Bounty
Oh
Hunter.
yeah.
Big
Okay.
Django Fett guy. So
Yeah.
loved Bounty Hunter. My brother and I played oddly enough, a lot of the Attack of the Clones video game. They had that arena at the end of it,
Uh-huh.
where you could like kind of co-op it. We liked that a lot. And then the Revenge of the Sith video game is really good. We
Yeah.
love that. But I would say for me during that era, I would say Republic Commando was like the
Okay.
that was like the peak game for me, at least for me. I love Battlefront. I love playing all that, but um I love Republic Commando. Like, I mean, going in there and doing like the tactical stuff and
Oh yeah.
being like the coolest clone trooper, like it felt really, really good to play that game. And it still feels good to play now, like on the Switch, the re-release that they did
Yeah.
a year or two ago. Bro, it's so good. So that,
It's
that, was,
it,
that was kind of my stuff back then.
yeah, I mean it's funny. If I remember correct, maybe I just didn't have it, but I want to think Republic Commando was Xbox exclusive when it first came out. And I was always a PlayStation guy, so I never played it. And then the re-release happened, so I was able to get it on my PS4. So I've just here recently been getting into it a little bit, and it's still awesome.
It holds up, dude. It still
Yeah,
holds up.
dude.
Yeah, big time.
I'm shocked at how much some of those old games still hold up.
Yeah.
But okay, so prequel era. When did your content? Because you haven't been doing content for very long, if I remember correctly. When did that whole concept start? When did you kind of say, I'm a Star Wars fan, I've been a Star Wars fan, let's get on the internet and be a Star Wars fan?
Yeah. So, okay, a little closet exclusive here. So I've never shared this, but um I've always wanted to do YouTube. I think, but that's like the number one rated job
Yeah,
for anyone.
which is
So
crazy.
it's crazy, yeah, and it's like way harder than I thought it would be. Um,
Yeah.
but my son loves watching Mario videos. He's like obsessed with watching Super Mario videos, Mario Galaxy, Mario Odyssey. He loves it. And I kept thinking, I feel like I can get there. Like I feel like I could have the personality to have this kind of like loud, boisterous, kind of woohoo kind of voice and do these games and just do like, you don't have to show my face, just do like voiceovers and do those. So I actually have a private YouTube channel where I've done like 6 videos of me playing Mario Odyssey. It didn't fit well at all. Anyway, long story short, I've always loved Star Wars, and I definitely don't have like the most knowledge, and I've learned that the hard way. Like people definitely know way more than I'll ever know.
Yeah.
But man, I love talking about it, and I've always said to my friends, I'm a big closet Star Wars fan, and they're like, really? Like they have no idea, and they'll come to like my man cave, and they'll see like all my Star Wars stuff, and I don't know what it is. I know, yeah. Like I just had this like weird, like kind of I love talking about it. And I love like debating about it. Not in like a yeah, that's not like my vibe. Like I'm not gonna go and debate
Yeah.
things about Star Wars because who freaking cares? Um but like I love talking about it. So, anyways, I had this idea where like, man, I wonder if I could translate what I've done with this like Mario thing to Star Wars because I really want to talk about it. And there's a good opportunity for it. There's a lot of stuff moving, and the space I felt like needed a different voice. And not that I felt like I could fill the void, but I felt like I could try. And
Yeah.
um, And so I started with my first ever video. March 8th of this year was my first ever post. Um, can I tell you something funny about that? Is that okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
Mr. Limitless. So I wanted the name Star Wars Closet so badly. Uh, and I had it, but I set up the YouTube channel. The shortest version of this story is I set it up incorrectly. And so it took a month to get the name back.
Oh
Uh,
no.
I lost access to the channel that I currently have. I lost access to
Oh
it the
no.
first month I had it, and like, but at that point I had this many subscribers, so it didn't matter. But I really wanted the name, so I waited a month, and I had banked all these videos. I made 3 videos and edited them. They're ready to go, but I couldn't put them anywhere. So I waited for a month. So this would have started back in February, but it ended up starting March the 8th. So I got the name, I got the channel, I already had the brand ready. I do marketing for a living, so like I already had the logo ready to go. I had everything ready. I just needed to post it, and did my first ever post. It was about why I thought Kylo Ren. You could argue that Kylo Ren is a top 5 Star Wars character of all time, and which I know is a reach. And now that I have like the following I have, I know better than to just say things like that. Uh, back, back then, I didn't care.
Yeah.
I still don't, but like I care a little more now because people talk. Um, and I really don't. I don't care for the sequels at all. But um, I've always liked Kylo Ren's character, and I thought you could make an argument for that. Anyway, that was my first video, so that's where the content kind of started. And as it started going, I got more comfortable doing the videos. I got more comfortable being on camera, and yeah, it's gone well. So that's kind of the why and the how, I guess, is my
Yeah.
long answer to that question.
Yeah, I watched that first video last night actually.
Yeah, tough to watch, and like the set, dude. Like I had a Chipper Jones poster right here. I mean, it was a different time, but it was
Yeah.
honestly like a demo of what I thought maybe could happen down the road, and you know, here we are. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll definitely be asking you for some marketing advice off camera after this because
Anytime.
I could definitely use some assistance in that area. But
Anytime.
you talk about the name
Yep.
and you talk about how it comes from you kind of being more of a Star Wars fan that's not super loud about it. Where did what was the moment where you said I'm okay being not closet about it anymore,
Yeah.
and kind of going full into it.
Yeah. Great question. So I've always answered that by telling people I wasn't like afraid of telling people I was a
Yeah,
Star Wars fan, but I didn't have a reason to talk about it with people, and this gave me a reason, you know. So like when I had opportunities, I think people were always surprised by like how passionate I was. Um, I thought I knew more than anyone because I knew what the difference between an AT-AT and an ATST was. Uh, like oddly enough, a lot of
yeah,
your modern Star Wars fans don't know the difference or don't care. So, um, yeah, so when I would tell people like, "Oh yeah, dude, no, those were AT-ATs on Hoth," they'd be like, I don't know what the difference is." I'd be like, "Well, it's pretty obvious, you know. AT-ATs got 4 legs, ATSTs got 2. They're kind of called chicken walkers by some
yep,
people." And they'd be like, "Dude, how do you know all this?" And I'd say, "Well, I'm kind of a closet Star Wars fan. It's no big deal, you know." So but it was never like a secret. It just was like it just wasn't talked about. And so
yeah,
I always liked the idea of having this like, if you open up the closet in my house, there's just Star Wars stuff everywhere and no one had any clue. I've always liked that. And then I also like the idea of being the everyman's Star Wars fan or
yeah,
Star Wars creator because I don't hide the fact that like I don't know everything. I don't know like a lot
yeah,
of lore stuff that I thought I did. I haven't read a lot of the books, but like if you're someone that's interested in Star Wars and you're kind of a closeted Star Wars fan, you might stumble upon my channel and realize, okay, there's someone that like gets it the way I get it, you know.
yeah.
Um, So that's kind of where that came from. I just always have been passionate about, just getting everyone on board. You don't have to know everything. Just
Yeah.
enjoy Star Wars and have a good time.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I've been at.
Yeah, I mean, 100%. And I mean, that's kind of which, had you said you were scared to talk about it, I would have 1,000% understood that because, I've been a fan of Star Wars since I was 2, and I've been working on this collection since I was 3. So, I mean, growing up being such a fan of it, like the people that would come over to my house and, my close friends and my family and stuff, they all knew. But I didn't make a a super big point to talk about it, at school or wherever, just because, you do get that nerd label and, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But, you know, I, and I think that's part of why your content is so accessible because it's relatable. I mean, it's positive, it's relatable, I figured that out from the very first video of yours that I saw. So, and I mean, that is very similar to me. What I'm trying to do is I just want to talk to cool people about Star Wars.
Yeah.
That's the whole. If I post it and one person watches it, cool. If 50 people watch it, that's if nobody watches it, I still got to talk to cool people about Star Wars. So,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, and I mean, I want to talk about the growth because I mean, you only started making videos and you said really February, but not actually until March.
Yeah.
You know, and the growth has been amazing. What's that been like?
Weird is the best way I can put it. It's been weird. I've obviously enjoyed the ride so far, but it's been a little overwhelming is the best way I could put it, in both positive and negative ways.
Sure.
Um, it's been I expected by now. I had like a chart, like a growth chart on my computer because again I do marketing, so I'm analytically trying to figure out how many followers I thinking I'll have by the end of 2025, and by this point I projected that I would have around 1,000, hopefully, if it goes well. We're pushing 18, and
Yeah.
that's incredible. It's just I wasn't prepared for that, so I've been trying to adapt in real time, and um, I get it. I get a lot of weird stuff. I guess the negative part of it, like, is I get a lot of weird stuff that I wasn't ready for. The hate comments I kind of expected at some point. There's just like way more than I thought there'd be. Um,
Sure. You talked about the sequels in your first video. I mean, what did
yeah,
you expect? No, I'm kidding.
tough. Yeah. And then yeah, and like I see, I didn't know that like if you talk, there's a whole sect of people that if you have anything in your brand or anything that you talk about that's post Disney purchase,
You're done.
um, yeah, you're cooked, dude. Like people hate you. But then there's also a section of people that like if you never talk about Disney Star Wars, then they think that you're a hater. So it's like it's a weird kind of vibe to be in, and that's why I've
Yeah.
told people like, like stop caring so much, just enjoy
Yeah.
your what you got. Um, but yeah, it's been good. Like, I guess the only other negative is like I've had people send stuff to my house,
Oh, dang.
and so I've had to be careful
Yeah.
about like my stuff being out in the world.
Sure.
And none of it's been bad. Like they've sent like I've had a few gifts sent here. And but like I'll never show them or like say anything about them because I don't want that to happen. Like I'm not trying to have people send
Yeah.
stuff to my house. I got kids. So that's been the only negative. The positive has been that obviously it's been fun and awesome. I've met great people, and um and there's nothing wrong with unexpected growth. Like it feels really cool to see people enjoy the content so much, and um I could sit here and harp on like I've looked and like of the analytics I've put together, I think that like um something like 9%, 9.8% are people that don't like me. And then so it's a really high rating of people that do. So that's
Yeah.
been really, really cool to see. And I think what you touched on on the accessibility of the content is what I'm going for. And so I do appreciate you saying that because
Yeah,
that's what I want. I want people to feel like they can come here and feel comfortable um, hearing about Star Wars. So yeah, the growth's been fast and it's been unexpected, but I've made mistakes with it, but I've also learned from those things and I'm enjoying it. So we're on the road to 100,000, baby.
yeah,
We got to
man.
get there, and I'm excited about it.
Yeah, man. And I mean, I got to continue to compliment you because I mean, your positivity is one of the things that you know made you one of the first people I wanted to have on this show. Because I mean,
Mm.
you're talking about your very first video was talking about the sequels, which a lot of people that make Star Wars content won't even touch it, just because you're almost just inviting the haters in at that point, But I'm of the belief that to some extent and capacity, all Star Wars is good Star Wars. I can find something that I like in everything Star Wars that exists. There's
Sure.
some stuff that I don't care for. There's stuff that I've watched that I probably won't watch again. But
Yeah.
I'm of the belief that every Star Wars thing that comes out, whether that's The Mandalorian, the sequels, the prequels, the Acolyte, Jedi Survivor, whatever it may be, everything that comes out is an opportunity to create new Star Wars fans. And then those
Yeah.
new Star Wars fans are opportunities to have more cool conversations about Star Wars, you know?
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
and your accessibility and your positivity, I think, is a really, I think everybody could take a cue from what you're doing.
Well,
It,
I appreciate you saying that. That's like that's so nice. It's heavy. I appreciate it. Yeah, and like I don't know that my goal. It sounds weird to say, but like I don't know that my goal was positivity innately.
yeah,
I think it was just enjoy what you're talking about and enjoy the subject matter. Or I mean that's kind of the same thing, but like um I really like Star Wars. I love talking about it. I really don't care what it is. I've learned the hard way of what people don't like to hear about. But I also don't care. So I think that helps. Like when you can break through the glass ceiling of like caring what people want to hear about. Um, that that's where a lot of the growth can come from. And yeah, like I do want to be a positive voice for Star Wars. Absolutely. That's why we're doing like Your Story Matters and uh, why I approach the content the way that I do. So that does matter and that does have an impact on why we do what we do and what we do. Um, but a lot of it is just as simplistic as freaking you're talking about something that happened a long time ago. It's already happened. Okay, so just talk about it
yeah,
and have a good time. And then if you don't have a good time watching it, watch someone else. You might like someone else more than you like me,
yeah,
and that's expected.
yeah. And I mean, I want to ask you about Your Story Matters because that's a series that I know you've been putting a lot of, you know, time and effort into. Where did the concept for that come from? And I know you've got, an overwhelming amount of response to it. What do you, where did that idea come from and where do you see it continuing to go?
I used to host a a podcast years ago called Your Story Matters. I owned the IP for it. It was my own thing, and we had a lot of guests on. We had Super Bowl champions on. We
Wow.
had YouTubers on. We had like shout out Neebs Gaming on YouTube. I'm a big fan of theirs. Like just awesome. We had actresses on and rappers, all sorts of stuff. And it was really just a platform for them to share the story of overcoming something. That's really it. Like if you ever been to like a church, it's kind of like a testimony, right?
Yeah.
Or like if you something like that, like overcoming a circumstance and showing people why it matters and why your perspective has value for someone that might be watching. Um, I've always been passionate about it. It took so much of my time, and I work a lot, and I had my first my first child um, towards the end of that era, and then I had another kid, and I've just been busy and traveling, so ended up having to move on from it. Sold it, and then I got it back, and then so I still have it now, but I've just never gone. It's all still out there. All that stuff is still out there, but I wanted it to translate to this because I'm passionate about it. And there's a lot of stories that I heard. So it's funny. I wasn't going to put it on this channel ever. I was going to do its own thing. But once we got the following that we did, I thought it would be more impactful to land here than to be its own thing. That's one. And then two, I went to ICCC earlier this year. That's the first con I've ever been to in my
Oh,
life.
really?
And it was awesome. And I was nervous. I was so nervous because I didn't know what to expect. And anyway, while I was there, um, I was at the Theory Savers booth, and someone was in line and met Nia and or Star Wars Theory, and like shook hands with him and then cried and like hugged him, and it was crazy. I've never seen anyone do that before to like a YouTuber.
Yeah.
And so he comes back, and I was like, bro, that was crazy, man. Like, you good? And he looks at me and he's crying, and he says, okay, so a couple of years ago, I I tried to end everything. And like when I tried everything I could to end everything, and I ended up in the hospital. And while I was there, I was watching YouTube, and I stumbled upon Star Wars Theory and watched his stuff. And I'm telling you, it saved my life. It changed my life. And so I thought, okay, how can we make this story into a macro thing, right? So how has Star Wars, not just a YouTuber, but how has Star Wars itself impacted someone in a positive way? And and so that's what we've been doing. We have a couple where they talk about how that's how they met, is they met through Star Wars, and now they have a family together, and they go to cons together, like cool things like that. A whole family started
Yeah.
because of Star Wars. You know what I mean? Like people don't talk about that stuff enough, and so I want to share the positive side. You've alluded to the positivity. I want to show that side of it. There's more than just us being nerdy people in the basement of our parents' houses. You know what I mean? Like that's what they assume. There's life saving moments. There's
Yeah.
families starting. There's people feel like they have a safe space. There's people that feel like they have a place that they can turn to when they're depressed or have anxiety, stuff like that. And it's just a freaking movie. It's a bunch of movies and TV
Yeah.
shows and books and games, and but man, it's comforting.
Yeah.
And that saves lives. It really does. I don't care what anyone says. So that's why I'm passionate
100%.
about it.
100%. That's cool. And I'm glad that it not only is it positive, it has such meaning to you, which I
Yeah.
think is which I think definitely translates to what you're putting out. Because there's so many people that make content just for the sake of making content, and you can tell who's passionate about the content that they're making and who's not. And
Yeah.
you can definitely tell that even from just the announcement video that you made announcing that that series was coming. You could already tell that that was something that was really, really special for you. So I'm glad that it's starting to come out. I hope to see it continue to, you know, grow and, like you say, share those. Because I mean, I've been a Star Wars fan since I was two. I don't, I, you know, and I don't. I'd probably make a terrible episode because I don't have a story that's that crazy powerful. Star Wars has just always been there. So So I'm glad that there is.
You know, you'd be surprised. I hear that a lot. I hear that a lot. Like, man, I'd love to share my story. It just doesn't. I wasn't like in a biker gang. You know, like I wasn't. I
Yeah,
didn't do anything crazy. But like what you just said right there is Star Wars has always been there. That's like what a powerful sentence. You know, Star Wars has always been
yeah,
there. Like it has been. And for us born in the 90s, like yeah, we're blessed because like I agree. We came up in the coolest time. Like it was so fun to be a kid during the prequel era. And there's impact there for people that maybe felt like they were the only ones in their parents or grandparents' backyards pretending they were Jedi and Sith, and they like keep that hidden. They're like, I mean, I'm not gonna tell anybody that. That was just like that weird time when I was 7. Even though I'm like 33 now and I'm still doing it when no one's watching, I'm still pretending I'm a Jedi. Like that's cool for people to hear, and I think people need to hear more of that kind of stuff. It's just fun.
yeah,
Have fun, man.
yeah. I mean, you talk about ICCC being your first con. I believe what probably was your second con was where I met you, and that was Rebel Scum Con. You
Yeah,
know
that's right. Yeah,
how
yeah,
what was that weekend like for you? Because I mean, I'm a local to the Dallas area. I know the guys that run that show. That show is very close to me, so I'm kind of flying too close to the sun when it's giving an opinion on that show. So I mean, I'm
yeah,
curious to know what, and especially since there were so many creators at that show, and there was such a strong, in my opinion anyway, such a strong environment of the community around Star Wars at that show. What was that weekend like for you?
man, I loved it. They did such a great job. I mean, it was really cool. I had no idea what to expect. It was like again, it was my second one, so like I had no expectations other than there's probably going to be a lot of Star Wars stuff, and there was. Um, It was great. They did it well. The vibes were just like chill. A lot of great people. I met a ton of people. The guy that I think I have, and I don't know his name. Obviously, you might know him. Um, I talked to him. Sorry, while I do this. Well, I may have lost it. Nope, I got it right here. So the guy that like he runs it, I guess. Uh,
Oh, not Lauren Peterson. Yeah, that's
yeah, you
Bobby.
got that.
Yeah, that's Bobby.
Okay, that's Bobby. Okay, so I met Bobby. What a cool dude! Like super solid guy, and
Bobby's the
really,
best.
dude, he's hilarious. The jean shorts, come on, dude. Like he's an American man, and I respect it. And then the other guy, I don't remember his name. Really nice
Yeah,
guy. We couldn't get the tickets to work. I remember like the first day they were trying to scan them on the iPads and they like were not working. And he was testing them with mine the whole time. And so that was cool. I felt like I was like somebody for a second, with because so two of the greatest guys ever. Like this was a like a random cool little
I've
gift.
got one too.
And yeah, like he's so yeah, they did a great job. I got to meet Sam Witwer and I got this like Darth Maul thing signed and met a lot of cool creators and yeah, really enjoyed it. They did a great job. Rebel Scum Con, shout out.
Yeah,
They did a great job.
gotta shout out Bobby. I mean, I've been friends and known Bobby for over a decade, so it's nice to
Bro,
see him get his props.
Bobby is a beast. I don't care well, no one has said anything otherwise, but he is a beast. I echo what everyone else is saying. Love the dude.
Yeah, I know you're a lightsaber guy. I know you make a lot of videos about lightsabers, so I'm curious to ask you, what are some of your favorite lightsaber designs? What's your Mount Rushmore of sabers?
Ooh, Mount Rushmore of Sabers.
Because there's so many.
Um,
There's so many.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Number one is definitely this one right here. By far. As a prequels kid, like Obi-Wan's first lightsaber is untouchable to me. I love the whole design of it. I've loved it. The one I've had since I was a kid is the Obi-Wan lightsaber. That's the one that I used to pretend with all the time. So definitely, definitely this one is number one. Um, I don't really know. Like probably like number two would be Obi-Wan's second one, I guess. And then which I don't have, but I will get. I've always liked this kind of design. Um, this one right here, like I've always liked where the end of the hilt kind of has this like jagged edge on the end. I don't know why, but like when I used to play Jedi Academy, I always picked the lightsaber that had that design. Shout out Jedi Academy, um, or Jedi Academy 2. So I would say that, and then I've always loved Luke's. His second one,
Yeah,
or well, I mean, I guess technically, but the first one he ever made. I have the combat version of it, but um, yeah, I've always loved Luke's lightsaber. And then I would say, man, that's tough. I'd say, I'd say the other one would have to be Star Killers. In the second video game.
yeah,
I don't have that one, but like I've always loved the design of that lightsaber.
yeah,
Uh, always, and it also has that kind of jagged edge at the end. So um, I would say those, and then bonus would be the goat, the chosen ones. I mean, Anakin's is
yeah,
like I mean you can't have a list of lightsabers without Anakin's. So
yeah.
and it is Anakin's. Okay. Come at me. It's Anakin's. Okay.
Yeah,
So yeah, there you go.
yeah. I mean, Luke's Return of the Jedi one has always been a favorite for me. I I'm glad you said that because I love Obi-Wan's from Phantom Menace. I like it more than his second one, and I've never found anybody else that agrees with me until just now. So
Right here, dude. It's better.
so
It's just better.
so glad you said that. Um, so I got a couple rapid fire questions. What is your favorite Star Wars movie?
Empire.
Empire.
Empire is my favorite.
Me too.
I've loved. Golly, when I watched it when I was a kid, I loved
Yeah.
it. Knowing that the Empire wins, but I know that they won't win in the end was really cool. But God, so much about that movie. Luke's fight with Vader on Bespin, like, come on, bro. It's such a good movie. Hoth is like iconic. Like that whole battle is iconic. But it's like it's Empire and then Revenge of the Sith. I mean, it is like neck and neck. Revenge of the Sith. Anytime I buy like a new TV once every 10 years, that's the movie I turn on to test the TV. So
Yeah.
like um so yeah, they're neck and neck.
Yeah. And I mean those are right there for me too. So no complaints there. Um
Yeah.
what's your favorite show? Because we've got so many now.
Bro, that's such a good question. Uh
There's a lot. Animation, live action. Disney Plus has just made shows explode.
Oh, I just hate them all. I mean, I love them all. I don't know. So I'm biased to Obi-Wan, even though I thought the show was so lackluster. But
Should have been
like,
a movie.
should have been a movie, could have been a better show. That dude that re-edited the whole show, shout out to that
Yeah,
dude. I don't
dude.
remember his name, but I watched that version of
I
it
did
way
too.
better. Oh, God. Ahsoka was good. I liked Ahsoka. That was another one that I thought could have been better. Some of the battle scenes were just so bad. Um,
That's a personal favorite of
Boba
mine.
Fett. I like it. I don't dislike it. I just kept thinking like, okay, come on, like y'all could have had anyone else coordinate these fights. Um, I guess I'll have to say I'd have to say Obi-Wan just because he's my favorite character. I don't know if that's one of your questions.
It's the
I'll have to
next
say
question.
okay, Obi-Wan's my favorite character, so by default, that's my favorite show. But I can see why Mando season 2 and 1 is a superior show. Let me just say that for the record.
Okay. I can. So Obi-Wan's your favorite character. Is there a particular reason for that, or just always been the one?
He is Star Wars. He started Star Wars. He he started Star Wars. He's the reason Star Wars went on like it did. He is the chosen one. Not really, but like he's the chosen one's chosen one. You know what I'm saying? Like trains Anakin, trains Luke, keeps them going, helps Luke destroy Death Star. Like he is what the Jedi are, like he's awesome. His lightsaber's sick. Like so much about, and then Ewan McGregor was like, what a perfect casting to be a Jedi, to be Obi-Wan Kenobi. Like he handles the character perfectly. So to me, it's just when he's on screen, I'm paying attention. That's just how it's always been. He's funny, he's witty, and the dude takes out Sith like it's his job because it is. It's his specialty. So unless it's Count Dooku, he cannot handle Dooku.
Yeah, he's 0 for 2 against Dooku. So
He's yeah, and it's like ugly, like 0 for 2, and it's ugly. But he's like the Patriots against the Giants. Like he just can't figure it out. Like it's tough.
yeah,
But yeah, that's why.
yeah. Obi-Wan's always been. He's not the favorite for me, but he's always been very, very, very close to the top for me. So I'm not gonna complain about that at all.
Yeah, he's
I so we got favorite character. Do you have a favorite vehicle? You were talking about
favorite vehicle.
ATSTs earlier.
Yeah. Um, favorite vehicle might be the X-wing. And that's
Classic.
probably a lot of yeah, that's probably due to Rogue Squadron, the Nintendo game.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
grew up I grew up playing that game. I love it.
Yes.
Like I've always loved the X-wing. I thought it was sick. My first Lego I ever had was an X-wing. Um, right next to that would be the N1 Starfighter. Those two are like, oh, I'm so jealous. I'm peanut butter and jealous. That's so sick. Yeah, I love the N1 Starfighter. Actually, that's one thing I don't have. I do not have an N1 Starfighter anywhere. But I love it. So those two would be my 1 and 2.
Yeah. Both excellent choices. Kind of parallel in a way. You know what Luke does in A New Hope with his X-wing is what Anakin
Yes.
does with the N1. So,
Yes.
do you like the yellow N1 or do you like Mando's?
Yellow. Come on, dude. The yellow just looks sick. It's like it was meant to be that color. Like I love it. And then any other color variation of it, I hate. I hate it. It needs to just be yellow. I love it.
That's fair. That's fair. All right, this one's gonna be interesting because I get a lot of different answers on this one. So we're gonna go into this a hypothetical universe here where
Oh,
Lucasfilm comes to you and says, "Closet, we will make any Star Wars project or decision that you want, movie, television show, book, comic, video game, casting choice, whatever you want most in the realm of Star Wars, we will make it. Saying no is not an option. What is that thing?"
oh, bro. Dude. Okay.
This one makes people think.
Yeah. Dude.
Or if you've got or if you have a few that rattle around in your head, you could throw out more than just one.
Give me a live action
Okay.
movie
Okay.
of the Jango Fett video game, the Bounty Hunter video game. Give me a live action
Okay.
version of that. Give me that.
Done.
Give it to me.
Done.
I need it.
Done.
Do it. Okay.
Okay.
And then while you're at it, like redo, like upgrade the game. You know what I mean? Like put that thing through Real Engine 80 or whatever is out there. I don't know any of that stuff, but like make the game look better at the release of this movie. Okay. Um, that would be like a non-negotiable for this contract that I'm having with them. And then um, scrap everything you've done, everything else, scrap it all, and then redo it. No, I'm just
Reboot
kidding.
the entire universe around that one movie.
Yeah, do it again. Um, that would be. I guess that would be it. That would be it. And then I struggle because I think another tough answer would be like give me more Darth Vader. Give me a whole Darth Vader show.
Okay.
But like you better be careful. You be careful with Darth Vader. Okay. He is the goat of all of cinema. So like you screw up Darth Vader, you are messing up like everything in cinema. He is the face of science fiction. Do not screw it up. So like give me a Vader movie, call it Vader, and buddy, like you better get Peter Jackson in the room and George Lucas in the room and like I, just make it good. Don't fail me on that. Those would be the two things.
So were you on board with when everybody was petitioning for a rated R Darth Vader movie where he's just slaughtering everything?
I'm like I'm a little on board. I'm a little on board because like yeah, I'd love to see that, but put that in a video game if you want to. Like, let me do that with Vader. Let me weaponize Darth Vader. Um, I mean, it doesn't have to be like all that. It's just I want depth to it. Like I don't want it to be like Darth Vader just running around, snapping necks and cashing checks. I want a lot of depth to it, but I'd love I'd love some more Darth Vader time. We
Yeah,
need time with
yeah,
him, and he's our father,
yeah,
you know. Uh, but yeah, Jango Fett and Vader would be like two things I need to see more of.
yeah. I would love to see more Jango Fett. We've gotten to see more of Tamara Morrison as Boba, but I
Yeah,
would love to see more of Django. I think that's a criminally underused character. Um, and I think,
that's a great way.
yeah, I mean, I think they're letting Tamara Morrison play Boba just so they don't have to give us more Django, which I think is unfair.
Yeah,
Um,
should be a crime.
yeah,
Should be a
I,
crime.
I would love to, because they're two different characters. I mean, say
Yeah,
what you will about he's a clone and whatever, played by the same actor, but they are two different characters, and I think if you let Tamara Morrison come back as Django, I think you'd be surprised at how different those two characters can be.
yeah. It's as simple as saying like because people that like want to argue that point are the same people that love Rex, but then also love Cody.
Yeah,
It's those are the same character. I thought, yeah, but they're two completely different characters
yeah,
at the same time.
100%.
So it is weird, but like it's also like there is a difference between Django and Boba, and Django's like a what we've learned in canon is that Django is like a ruthless kind of guy, and Boba we thought was, but according to the TV show, he is not. He is sleepy. He's very sleepy. So
Yeah, I mean they are two different characters. It's not like the people that argue that Anakin and Vader are two different characters because that is not true. That is a
yeah,
very weird argument to make. It makes me think of that Empire magazine character ranking list that came out where they're listed as two separate characters, which is very bizarre.
terrible.
Very bizarre. But
Yeah,
yeah, no,
terrible.
I would love to see more of Django. And I would love to see more of Vader. I mean, I think we have a lot of Vader in the I guess traditional sense. Um, but I would love to see more of Vader in maybe a different context. I mean, I'm reading Master of Evil by Adam Christopher right now, and you get to see Vader through the eyes of just your basic Imperial officer, and like he's they make him scary because
Mm.
he's this guy that just showed up one day hanging out with the Emperor. They have no clue who he is. They have no clue why he's there. He has access to everything, and all he does is stand around and breathe. And like they're terrified of him. And I'm like,
Yeah.
that's such a different angle on Vader. And I would love to see more of Vader in maybe a different context beyond just
Yeah.
he's cool looking and he's bad.
Yeah, absolutely. I honestly, so I thought his best look was in the Obi-Wan show. I thought he looked awesome. I loved Hayden Christensen like being him, and
Yeah,
um some of the best lines in all of Star Wars came from that show. Like that
yeah,
fight at the end when he says like I am what you made me, and I am not your failure, and like God,
yeah.
they performed
That
that
yeah,
so
that whole scene.
so good, man. The show is not the same as that scene, but like people that see that scene think like that's the greatest show of all time, and it's just not. It's not the Breaking Bad of TV shows for sure, but it is
Yeah,
that that scene is so powerful. But I struggle with the fact that he's in that show. Like I just like I would like to have seen him in that show, but not lose to Obi-Wan. I would like to see him in that show.
it's hard to see him
But like
lose. Yeah, it's hard to see him lose.
yeah, like
Period.
I don't like that he basically goes 0 for 2 against Obi-Wan. And as much as I love Obi-Wan, like the way Vader handled him at the first half of that show, I thought that's where that needs to go. Like end it there. They kind of met. It didn't go well for Obi-Wan. Vader's like way ultra powerful now. Um, like it is what it is. But throwing rocks at him, and I guess doing like a hip hop jump off of another boulder and swinging the lightsaber really fast will take Vader out. Um, however, I I agree. Like I would like to see him in the light of like this menacing character that doesn't have to do much, honestly. And like
Yeah,
honestly, that fight with Riva, I thought was kind of the perfect example of that. Like she's doing everything she can to just do anything to him. And he's like, he didn't even have to take his lightsaber out to beat her. Like, that's what I want to see.
yeah.
Do that. And then um I thought the main bad of that show could have been anyone else. Maul, definitely not Riva. But like it just was a struggle fest to get through for me. But more of like a menacing Vader, like you're saying, that like doesn't have to do much, or like a different perspective would be awesome. But I thought he looked awesome
Yeah.
in the Kenobi show. He
I
looked really
I,
good.
I really like talking about Vader. I really like when he shows up at the end of Jedi Fallen Order, because he shows up. Spoiler alert for that game if you haven't played it. He shows up at the end, and he doesn't even have a health bar.
Yeah,
The objective is not to, because you realize pretty quick you're not going to fight him and win. Your
yeah,
your goal is to escape him, which if you play
yeah.
the game and don't die, then that's exactly what you do. But
Dude, when he just does this little number and throws, I can't remember her name, the
yeah,
one that helps Cal, when he just kind of does that and she just goes flying, I
yeah,
was like, okay, dude,
yeah,
that's Darth Vader.
yeah,
That's the chosen one right there. Like, doesn't have to do anything.
yeah.
Um, yeah, he's awesome.
We,
He's a fan of cinema.
I mean, it's fun. It's funny that we're talking about video games and books, and I think the Darth Vader comic did really good with Vader. We're talking about how all these other forms of media are presenting him almost better than the mainstream movies and TV shows did.
Yeah,
But
yeah, I think yeah, you're 100% right.
I mean,
You're
if
100% right.
if if that's what it takes to get Vader doing cool stuff, then that's what it takes for Vader to do cool stuff.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
I back to the content, kind of before we start to wrap it up a little bit, but like, what is the future for the Star Wars closet? What do you want it? What do you want in a perfect world? What is the future for you and everything you're doing?
That's a great question. I want to be able to produce more content faster. I travel a lot for work and got a family and all that stuff. So um I'd like to put out more content a lot faster. It takes me about a week to 2 weeks to get out like a video. Um so would love to keep just doing this at all hours of the day and add to what I'm doing. Um I've got a little team that I'm working with now that we're working through some kind of visions of what we'd like to see happen, not to just this channel, but starting some new channels from this one. And so a gaming element is going to be added at some point as soon as I get this setup completely done. And I think that'll be fun. I don't really do a lot of that. I don't get to play a lot of video games these days, but um, the ones I have, I really enjoy. But like, I still haven't played like the new Jedi game. Like, I haven't done that. I haven't played
So good.
Outlaw. I
It's
haven't
so
played.
good.
Yeah, like, and it's weird to say that I haven't played those games. They've been out for years now, and I haven't touched them. So that'll be added down the road. But a lot more of what I just enjoy talking about is going to continue. I enjoy talking about the weirdness of Star Wars sometimes, like the stuff that 212 Jedi get sent to an arena in Geonosis and only 100 or 183 of them die. Like that's crazy that happened.
Yeah.
Like I like talking about that kind of stuff. Darth Vader's lightsabers oriented the wrong way. Like uh, I like that, and my followers seem to like it. So more of that will be coming out, and then obviously a lot of your story matters. I just want to keep being a positive
Yeah.
influence for Star Wars, and um, so yeah, that's going to continue. I just want to ramp up the amount of continuation.
Yeah. All right. Well, one more thing. I'm curious. What are some of your interests in the I guess movie and pop culture world outside of Star Wars? We know you are the Star Wars closet. What's outside the closet?
Okay, so the arguably the thing I'm a bigger fan of than Star
Oh
Wars
boy.
is Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
I have a right over there a mini version of all of this of Lord of the Rings stuff. Uh, a big Lord of the Rings guy. That's something I would love to talk about. The IP is just not big enough, honestly, like for me to dedicate time to it. Um, but gosh, I love Lord of the Rings. I'm reading through the books for the fourth time. I have the movies on just as like comfort sometimes. Um, I'm a big Lord of the Rings guy. In the game world, big Mario and Zelda guy. I love Zelda. I love Zelda lore videos. Um, those will just be on just sometimes, just in the background. I'll be cooking dinner, and like I'll have like a you know why is Hyrule shaped the way it is, like that kind of stuff
Yeah.
will just be on. I love that stuff. So anything Nintendo and Lord of the Rings, that's kind of outside of the Star Wars closet. Those are like my other nerdy things that I can go on and on about. And then like I'm a huge baseball and football guy. I'm a big Atlanta Braves guy, big Atlanta Falcons guy. I'm from Atlanta, so obviously I'm big into Atlanta sports. So um, yeah, that's kind of like outside of the realm of the people that watch my stuff.
Yeah.
Those are the things I'm really loving.
Yeah. And I mean, as much as this is talking about Star Wars, I mean, I always do like asking people what are some of their other nerdy interests. So yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
and I the just to since I am a collector, I gotta ask: do you have a favorite piece of your set or something that you've got hanging out in the background that you've collected?
I don't know. I love a lot of this stuff, obviously. I would say my favorite thing is probably this lightsaber, just because it means a lot. But this is the one I've had since I was a kid. So there it is.
Yeah.
Nostalgia wise, probably that's my favorite piece. Um, yeah. So the rest of it's all like, I mean, I love all of it, but I would say the lightsaber and anything nostalgic for me is a favorite. I have like cards and stuff. I kind of I didn't know like these were a thing when I got into the YouTube game. Um, so like I've got some like cool stuff like this that I also love. But I've also learned that like that's not my thing. I'm not like a cards
Yeah.
person.
There's a
So
lot of people that are. I found that out
yeah,
very
dude.
quickly.
Golly, I thought like you had to be in this world, but shout out to those of you that are like BP and Pop and all like you guys, Tony. Like that's just not me. I love it and
Yeah.
I'll support you guys all day, but that's just not my thing.
Yeah.
So, but
I'm gonna try to have some of them on at some point just so they can explain the cards thing to me.
yeah, and they can. I've learned about it from them, but
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's not my thing. But yeah, I love that card. So yeah,
Yeah. So just to kind of wrap it up, tell people what you've got coming up in the short term and where they can find you and all that kind of good stuff.
yeah, I got some. So I'm actually recording some new videos tonight. I'm recording 3 videos tonight, so it'll be a late one. Um, and so those will be coming out, over the next couple of weeks. I got more Your Story Matters stuff sent in from other creators. Limitless would love to have you on
Yeah.
there at some point. So we got to crank those things out. We've had 2 out now with Bricks and Star Wars Nerd. So I think next will be the one I have on my editing software right now is Kyber Forge. So his will be going out here in a few weeks. Um, so yeah, that's what we have coming out. Just more content on the Star Wars Closet, baby. That's what's coming. Um, I'm on Instagram, the Star Wars Closet, on X or Twitter at Star Wars Closet, and then right here on the YouTubes. Just type in Star Wars Closet, you'll find me.
It'll all get tagged down there. So not to worry. Closet, thank you so much for I know you're a busy guy and I know we've been talking about this for what feels like quite a while now. uh,
Yeah,
Glad to finally have the time to have you on and talk to you and hopefully I see you at Rebel ScumCon in 2026 or maybe even Celebration in 2027. I really want to go to Celebration.
me too.
But never been to Celebration before, so hopefully 2027. But thank you so much for taking some time to come on and hang out and talk about Star Wars because I mean that's the whole point of this, just to talk to cool people about Star Wars. So thanks for your time.
Yeah, bro. Thanks for thinking I'm cool. That no one else does, and I'll take it.
Well,
So I appreciate that. Thanks for having me on, bro.
yeah, man, absolutely. So stay tuned for we got another episode coming out hopefully next week. Um, at the time that you're watching this. But more even after that coming on the way. So thank you again, and may the force be with you.